Welcome back, folks, to Glass Orchid Aftermath. It has been a while, has it not? I just wanted to come on here and say, hey, how's everybody doing? It's been a considerable time since my last video. That's okay. Everything's cool. Hope everything's cool with you. For those that don't follow me on other areas of the internet. I did want to just kind of get on here and say, hey, maybe show you a couple records I've been listening to. Maybe pick your brain. I'm going to give you something to meditate on. Yeah, things are good. Still kind of, organizing records. Kind of the biggest dilemma has been just, I moved like almost 2 years ago, and I've yet to kind of put everything in its place. So I've organized all my 45s, but I'm still working on other things. So time is a very finite resource. So, but yeah, I just wanted to, say hey, maybe show you a couple records I've been listening to. So in no particular order. I know some of this stuff maybe I've already shown. I think for the most part, what I'm going to show you here, you probably haven't seen, or if it's just maybe stuff that I've shown before, make sure you go pick it up because it's good. One CD to start. The Dave's Picks 25 came out. Grateful Dead. If you're not familiar with this is so basically it's sort of there's a subscription or you can buy it a la carte. Usually sells out. These are limited. This round is basically 18,000 of these, and it's basically just a full Grateful Dead show. They're really making some great ones. This is from Binghamton, New York, 11/6/1977. I had a copy of this for a while, sort of bootleg sort of deal, but this is the official release. It's a Betty board. Haven't listened to this yet, but from what I hear, it's definitely the remastering on it seems pretty good. So if you can really only kind of get these, you can do the subscription service before around November, so they do a teaser, but they release these basically 4 times a year. And they're $25. So for a 3-disc Grateful Dead kind of limited thing, these definitely hold their value. So check it out. If you get a subscription, there's like a bonus disc. You almost get like an extra show with it. So yeah, very cool. So that's new on the CD thing. So some LPs that I've been listening to lately. You're probably asking yourself, boy, that looks familiar. Mark, Don, and Terri. So this is actually the Terri Night in the Pack, not the Grand Funk Greatest Hits, but this was sort of capitalized on. This came out in like 1972 after that album came out. But Mark Farner and Don Brewer were with Terri Night, who became their manager. So Terri Night in the Pack. This is on Abco. This is actually kind of a really easy way to sort of get most of the first 2 albums. It's not a complete twofer or anything like that. I think there's some B-sides that are on here that were non-album singles. But it's easy listening to this. You kind of understand why they sort of really never went anywhere. I mean, they became Grand Funk, but as Terri Night in the Pack, they had one kind of hit, the I Who Have Nothing. Listen to this kind of back from side 1 chronological to side 4. I mean, they were a great band, don't get me wrong, but you can see why that they just they're contemporaries. A lot of Rolling Stones covers. They did a few Yardbirds covers here and there, but I just don't think that they had it. They didn't have a signature sound. Like there wasn't when I think of Terri Night in the Pack, I think of this. It was kind of sort of blue-eyed soul mixed with garage, kind of whatever. So nothing really too amazing by any means. But this is a great way to pick this stuff up, and this kind of commands a few dollars on the old Discogs. I believe I showed this a while ago, but if you have a few bucks to throw to Discogs, Harry Goss. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. It's sort of like a kind of an avant-garde pop album, kind of just very interesting. So it's produced by Steve Katz, who was in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the Blues Project, all that good stuff. Elliot Randall's on this too, so if you want to do the whole, endless trip thing. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a psychedelic album. It's sort of a pop album. It's on the Blue Book label, which is sort of a real, just kind of a very plain label. Nothing too crazy about it. But Harry Goss was, I don't know if I said this already, but he was sort of the main, he was the main character from Fiddler on the Roof. I'm sorry, I never saw it. I don't really have a reference point for it, but this is kind of the only album he ever did. It's really cool. I like it. So I've been listening to that. This, I think, I know I've showed this before, but still been spinning the crap out of it. Roy Drusky, Now is a Lonely Time. If you like Tom Waits' sort of Nighthawks at the Diner, it sort of has that feel to it. There's sort of like a song, and then there's sort of a little spoken part, and then a song, and then whatever. But there's like like Apartment Number 9's on here. There Goes My Everything. Early Morning Rain. I love this. Is just a great album. It's very quick too. It's only like just like shy of maybe like 30 minutes or so, but very, very cool album. I probably should. I've had this forever, but I know I don't have like maybe like a new vinyl finds or whatever. But it's worth talking about. John Mayall, The Turning Point. This is from 1969, summer of '69. Just a little bit before Woodstock, but. John Mayall was basically distancing himself from the blues breakers, loud guitar kind of thing. And this is just sort of like a real soft, kind of chill out sort of vibe to it. So one of my favorite albums. So very cool. I've been listening to this a lot. So this is the Immediate Story Volume 2, Small Faces. Volume 1 is The Nice. Sort of a kind of a greatest hits collection. Some unreleased tracks, like some live tracks I don't think were on any album, but the Small Faces. So fun stuff. Uncle Bo's one of his favorite bands there. So this is on Sire. Came out I think like around 75. I think after the immediate all that stuff kind of folded, and I think the label stuff kind of changed hands, which is one of the reasons why you don't really see many of their albums around, because just like the kind of the legal stuff that was involved with this was kind of, nobody knew who owned what and all that kind of stuff. But this is fun. Great album. It does have stuff from Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. Of course, Itchy-Coo Park is on here. Green Circles, The Autumn Stone, so all the really good stuff. You got it. And some newer stuff I've been listening to. I've been listening to this for a while. This came out, I want to say, maybe sometime around October or November. Hith's Golden Messenger. This is MC Taylor and Brad Cook. This is sort of like kind of singer-songwriter, folky. I mean, it's kind of hard to describe this. I don't really expect this guy to be, he's not going to be huge anytime soon, but he's a really good sound. Like if you like his, if you like sort of that fringe kind of stuff, I think he just was touring with what's that guy's name, Bon Iver. He was just touring with him, so I guess you could kind of maybe say there's a little bit of a parallel. There's a little bit of I don't know. I like it. This is a cool vibe. Kind of a country vibe, but kind of a folk vibe. But, it's sort of, of the times. So, really been digging this. Last one from a local dude, Derek. This is the Homeless Gospel Choir. Again, so some more kind of acoustic troubadour kind of stuff. This was actually featured on NPR. He's from Pittsburgh. But he did like a video to one of the songs on here that was sort of like Alanis Morissette's Ironic. Really cool. It's good stuff. It makes you kind of think. So, yeah, check them out. So, cool stuff. And last but not least, I've been kind of listening to this. I've definitely been revisiting this album. And, it's like one of those ones that you find out you have, a couple copies of. This one, I think Uncle Bo sent me this one. Time of the Seasons by the Zombies. I'm sorry, Odyssey and Oracle is actually the name of the album. But they did that once the single got big. So you're like, oh, Time of the Season. That's who it is. I need to buy this. So, The Odyssey and Oracle. Been listening to that. It's just a fantastic album, beginning to end. And sort of as I've been kind of cleaning up, and organizing, I also found this copy, which I guess I've had for a little bit. I don't know when this came out. I don't know if it says 2015. This was the red, white, yellow haze vinyl Newbury Comics exclusive. There's only 1,000 of these, but I haven't opened it up yet. But there you go. How many copies of that can you have? 3? I'm sure there's somebody out there that has more than 3. So that'll do it for me. I hope you guys are doing well, and hopefully we see each other a little bit sooner than later. So take it easy. We'll see you on down the trail.